Hi, sixth graders. We're on lesson 2.5, which is subtracting integers. If you want to continue on from your notes from adding integers, that would be fine. Otherwise, start a fresh new page, write lesson 2.5. I can subtract integers on the top with your date. We are going to do a very quick review on adding integers. So, as you recall from the video and from what we talked about in class, okay, adding integers. So if we have the same signs, so for example, -3 and -2 have the same signs because they're both negative. Same with -1 and -4. We can add the absolute values and then take the sign of both numbers. So I tried to diminish it into 2 quick steps. So -3 plus -2 we know is the absolute value of -3 is 3. The absolute value of -2 is 2. So basically we're just dropping the signs and adding the numbers together, and we get 5, and then take the sign of both numbers, which they're both negative, so it's -5. If we use our number line to solve this, because sometimes it's easier to picture the numbers on a number line and to picture whether you're going left or right. So here's 0. We start at -3. Okay, it's a little bit confusing to start at 2 and then do the extra jumps. But if we just start at -3 and add -2, so if we're adding and it's a negative, then we need to go in the negative direction, and then we get -5. Okay, -1 plus -4. So the absolute value of -1 is 1. The absolute value of -4 is 4. 1 plus 4, we get 5, and it's negative. Okay, this time we start at -1, and then we're going to do 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get -5. Okay, so you might want to write this in your notes if you didn't already. Same signs. Add the absolute values, or basically if you just want to remember, you drop the signs, add the 2 numbers, take the sign of both of the numbers. Different signs, we subtract the absolute values and then take the sign of the greater number. So something else you want to probably add into your notebook. So 3 plus -5 tells us we have a positive and we have a negative. Subtract the absolute values, and I'm actually going to do it in order. So because when we subtract, we always want the higher number greater. So the absolute value of -5 is 5. Minus 3 is 2, and then take the sign of the greater number, or basically the greater absolute value, which is 5, and this is -5, so our answer then is -2. -6 plus 8, so we take 8 minus 6, and we get 2, and then take the sign of the greater number or greater absolute value, which would be 8, and 8 is positive, so it is +2. Okay, if we're at 3 and we're adding -5, so we're going towards negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my -2 for that one. And then -6 plus 8. This time we're starting at -6 and we're adding 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then our answer is 2. Okay, I want you to pause me and do some good review problems. So take a second and do all these on your sheet of paper, and then check back for all the correct answers. Okay, -4 plus 10 is 6. -9 plus 99 is 0 because they're opposites. 50 plus -12 equals 38. 18 plus -30, so we're starting at -30. It's easier to think of that. Adding 18, so it would be -12. -21 plus -19 would be -40. Negative 17 plus negative 17 is not 0. It would be negative 17 plus 17 to be 0. This time it's two negative 17s, so then it would be negative 34. If you got any of these wrong, circle them, and then if you have a question about how or why you got it wrong, make sure you bring it to class to ask, okay? If you got it wrong though, make sure you go back and try to recalculate it and find your mistake. Okay, so if we are subtracting integers, the reason why we've been reviewing adding a lot is because basically what we do with subtracting integers is turn them into an addition problem. So it's super, super, super important to know how to add integers, because basically what we're doing when we're subtracting is we're changing it into an addition problem. So you'll want to make a new little heading that says subtracting integers, maybe put a line underneath it or highlight it or something like that. And you can write turn into an addition problem. Keep, change, flip. You're going to hear forever and ever, especially for this year. You're going to need to know what keep, change, flip is. So write it and then put a little box around it so that you know keep, change, flip goes with subtracting integers. So what that means, okay, is to change our subtraction problem into an addition problem, we keep, change, flip. So here's a different color marker. So we keep, so negative 4 minus 6. Okay, we keep the first number the same. We change our subtraction to addition, and then we flip. So we basically change it to its opposite. So we flip the sign. So 4 minus 6 is the same as 4 plus negative 6. Oops, which then equals negative 2. Negative 3 minus negative 7. Keep our first number. Always, always, always keep the first number. Then you change your operation, and then you flip. Well, negative 7, the opposite, or the opposite is 7. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the sign to a positive. And even though we don't usually write numbers with a positive sign in front of it, if it's positive, for this you need to get used to changing whether it's negative or positive. So we have negative 3 plus positive 7, which is the same as negative 3 plus 7. Negative 3 plus 7 equals 4. And then we have 2 minus 9, so we keep the 2, change to addition, and flip our number to negative 9. Always keep, and then when we change, it's always changing the subtraction to an addition problem. This only works on subtraction, okay? And then flip means you're finding the opposite of the third number. So 2 plus negative 9 would be negative 7. Okay, here's a few subtraction problems that I want you to take a second to try to do. So pause me if you didn't already and do these problems in your notebook. Make sure you show your work so you can go back and look at your problems. So 0 minus 9 equals negative 9. Negative 8 minus negative 21. So we keep negative 8. Change this to an addition. Change that sign. So negative 8 plus 21 equals negative 8. So we have different signs. So 21 minus 8 would be 13. The sign, now we look at the sign of our addition problem, okay, because we changed our signs, and we see that 21 has a greater number, or is greater, So we can take that sign, which we normally wouldn't, but equals plus 13, and then we can rewrite it as 13. 3 minus negative 5, we keep 3. We change to addition, and then we change our sign. So 3 plus positive 5 equals 8. Negative 11 minus 33, so keep the negative 11, change the sign, and then make 33 negative. Keep, change, flip. Negative 11 plus negative 33, so they have both have the same sign, so we can just add them together. So 33 plus 11 is 44, and then we take the sign of both sides, which is negative, so our answer would be negative 44. Okay, make sure you go on and take the 2-5 NICU quiz. Also remember that adding and subtracting integers are a little bit tricky, and you may have to work at it for a little bit, but make sure you bring questions to class tomorrow. Have a super evening.